Taylor, we kind of heard throughout camp that the mindset, the mental energy this year is different. But after that Portland State game, I guess it's kind of hard to believe that. Do you still feel like this year that the team is buying in and cohesive in a different way than in years past?
Yeah, I think no matter what the outcome of the game was on Saturday, we're still gonna have that mindset where we're gonna play aggressive. We're gonna do what we have to do on the field and off the field, and I think this one game doesn't define how the rest of our season is gonna go. We know what we need to do this week against Rutgers, and we're gonna get it done.
So I guess in your mind, what led to a loss to a team that you handled pretty easily 1 year ago?
There was some communication errors, but other than that, Portland State, they did a great job, and it's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's what you can do after those losses, and I think our team is prepared to go 1-0 this week.
Defensively, where in the communication chain does that breakdown happen, and how can that be fixed?
Defensively, it starts with the safeties, goes down to the linebackers, and down to the D-line. Some calls out there this past game, they didn't get down the chain, or they just weren't communicated at all. But we'll fix that, and as a safety back there, I got to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, and we'll get it done this week.
Broken tackles seem to be a big issue, especially in that second half.
Mm-hmm.
With only a couple days of practice leading into traveling out to Rutgers, how does that get fixed so quickly?
Just believe in your technique. Coach Grinch and the defensive staff, they teach us great technique on how we tackle, about taking that extra step, and we just have to put that into use. We do it every day. We do drills every day, and we just need to be able to go out there and execute.
Faced run-heavy offense. What were you able to see from the secondary, even though they weren't throwing the ball?
Secondary-wise, I think we did a pretty good job. We stayed on top. That's our main goal, to keep the ball in front of us. Everyone was communicating well. I thought between me and Darian, Shalom, and Chuck, and Marcellus, I thought we did a great job of communicating with each other. Yeah.
You guys have to be on high alert a little bit more against a Rutgers team that threw the ball pretty effectively.
Yeah. Our goal each game is always the same. Keep the ball in front of us, and I think this week we just need to be careful from those big plays from last year. We need to eliminate those and rally to the ball.
What do you see from them on film offensively from this year?
Rutgers?
Yeah.
Haven't had a chance to watch it. I was going to watch it right after this because I was going to be in the building. But from last year, they like to run it, and they'll run, and then they'll try to pop one on you. So we just got to be prepared at all times for anything, whether run, pass, trick plays, anything. We have to be prepared.
How much do you think last year's game, especially the result, will be on your mind, collective mind of the guys in the team going this week?
I think everyone has that idea in the back of their head about the game last year, but I think it's a new team. We have a different mindset, just as a defense as a whole, and I think we know what we need to do, and we're going to go out there and be successful.
The receiver who had that first 80-yard touchdown last year, he's back, and he just had 3 against Norfolk. Do you remember him at all?
I don't remember his name. Obviously, he's a good athlete. He scored 3 touchdowns last week. But we're going to treat every receiver on their team as a weapon, and we're going to make sure that as DBs, we keep them in front and lock them out.
Is it nice to immediately have something to take your focus away from last week and immediately kind of a chance to build up and hopefully get that first win?
Yeah. I guess just how it is every week, no matter win or lose, the next game comes, you have to be locked into that next game. You can't be too high on your wins and too low on your losses. You just got to learn from your mistakes from the past game and go to the next one.
Do you think going on the road this week after a loss like that might actually help you guys sort of being isolated and getting out there and just having the team out there?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I think just any game, I think we'll be ready. Once that next game comes, I think we'll be prepared, and we'll learn from our mistakes from the last week. So I mean, New Jersey is far away. I know some guys don't like flying, but we'll figure it out. And I'm sure they'll enjoy the East Coast because it's my first time going out, and I think it'll be really cool.
You've spent a lot of time in that culture of playing the next play, going right to the next game. But guys like Darian and Shalom haven't.
Mhm.
Do you, at any point, kind of pull them aside or talk with them just about making sure that they aren't dwelling on the loss?
Yeah, we always talk just like after the games, during the games, it's always play the next play. It's have that mindset, no matter what happens on that specific play, you have to move on from that. After the game's done, you learn from the mistakes you made, and now we're going to play Rutgers, so we're focused on Rutgers.
Is this a game you have to right the ship for the season?
Every game's a game we need to win, and every game's a game we need to be successful at, so that's all I have for that.
You see it a lot, NFL and college. Teams from the West Coast going and play on the East Coast generally tend to struggle. How do you guys buck that trend?
We just stick to our technique, play our assignments, do what our coaches tell us to do, and I feel like if we do that, we'll be successful.
What was the message in the team meeting last night?
Team meeting, just trying to find a way that we can go out there and play how we play. We have a certain way of playing, as you guys saw in like fall camp and stuff like that, and that meeting was basically just about us going out there and being able to play at that high level that we know we can play, and just being comfortable and relaxed when we go out there and play.
Did any players speak?
A couple of them did. They didn't speak a lot, but they said some things, and it was a really positive meeting.
This isn't the first time that you guys felt confident going into the season, what you did in practice didn't necessarily translate. Why do you think that's been the case?
I'm not really sure. All I can say is, we're right now. I'm just gonna focus on Rutgers, and that's all I can say to that. I'm gonna focus on Rutgers. I know the team's gonna focus on Rutgers. That game, unfortunately, it happened the way it did, but we have to move on from that and do what we have to do.
Bender was in a tough spot towards the end of the game, going against him all camp. What struck you about his play and kind of his command of the offense?
Bender, for me, he has a cannon. I think he has an arm. Like, he can throw anywhere on the field at any time, and I think he'll do a great job of just sitting in there and relaxing and leading the offense.
As far as the communication issues, is one of the players getting audio from the coach, and are they relaying hand signals to the other players, or how does the communication actually work pre-snap?
Pre-snap basically it comes from the sideline. I don't know if we have the little audio things like the NFL. I'm pretty sure that's not allowed. But, we get it from the sideline, and basically we go from there.
So the coaches give it to the safeties, and then the safeties give it to
Well, the coach gives it to the whole team, but so the safeties have to give certain calls to kind of get everyone lined up.
And did you notice, like, that the linebackers maybe just weren't seeing what you were trying to tell them, or was it during the play and you're kind of like, what are you doing? Or when did you start to notice, I guess, that these communication issues were starting to happen?
Shoot. I'm not really sure when I started noticing them, but they happened. All we can do this week is clean them up and just make sure we're all on the same page. So.
Any questions on the line for Taylor?
Yes, to jump on the communication question, I mean, you mentioned that the communication between the safeties and in the secondary was fine. So was it really just communicating it from the back to the front that's where it broke up?
Well, I don't know. It just depends. There's certain calls that happen throughout the play, and that's all I'm going to say on that. I don't want to go into too much detail, or I'll give away our whole defense.
Okay. What was Coach Finch like in the meeting room after the loss? I mean, is he a left? Is he a yeller? Like, what was his message to you guys?
He had a strong tone in his voice, but it wasn't an aggressive tone towards us. I personally think he's one of the greatest coaches I've ever had, and that's just off of this short time that I've known him. But he told our defense that things are going to happen, but it's how we respond. And I think him and the rest of the defensive coaches are going to do a great job of getting us rallied together and having us as a whole defense stick together. So I think this week we will be able to show that on the field.
And lastly, a couple of your teammates have said that there was a different energy in the second half than in the first half. Like, what do you guys have to do to keep that energy level out, get hype, come out of the locker room?
I think it's just, having that same mindset of just having fun and stuff like that, being loose. And I think after the first half in the locker room, we were a little tight, and we just weren't relaxed as we usually are.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the line for Taylor? Anything else in the room?
Does the communication stuff, does that kind of have a waterfall effect? Is the initial assignment missed the big issue, or does that kind of then lead to some, I don't want to say finger pointing, but kind of worrying about the communication breakdown during the drive?
I think for our defense, there's never finger pointing. We never want to point fingers at individuals. But, as a whole, we just need to learn how to communicate better. And once we get a call in, we're sticking to that call, and we're doing everything we can to be successful on that play.
Paul James was a running back that had a big game against you guys last year against Rutgers. He broke off a big one, had the game-winning touchdown. What do you remember about him? What makes him so effective?
Big physical back. He can do a lot of things on the ground. But we just need to be able to rally, tackle. Bring our feet, take that extra step, and wrap him up. And I think we'll be good.